VideoDrew, and you're hanging out with me for tonight's episode of Schmoebates, where we debate and argue to the death, to the blood of all things Schmoedown, trying to debate Schmoedown's biggest and most important questions. And over here, Frankie Numbers, what's up, my dude?
What's going on? Glad to be back. I'm excited for this matchup tonight. VideoDrew and apparently this other person who's going to take my job in the future. That's what I keep hearing. Megs reclaimed. So I'm looking forward to this matchup.
Arguments are kind of fun every now and again. Not that, we're biased, of course, trying to stir the pot every once in a while, obviously. Definitely not something we would do, obviously. So, all right, well, we're going to be watching these two people compete. Drew, obviously, she is technically the I don't want to say the undercard. That's not the right word I'm looking for, but she has currently a record of 0-1. No wins under her belt. She has, obviously, she's been the same right that you have, as a co-host, but she has only competed once, and she lost that match. And going up against Megs, who has one win under her belt. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to work out. What do you think, Frankie, of these two competitors overall?
Well, I am a sucker for stats, so what does that tell you right off the bat? But
numbers? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
VideoDrew is a very passionate talker. I'll put it that way. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes our way, what comes towards the audience way, and how that will affect our decision making.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you're going to be arguing or just talking about Schmoedown in general, it's always got to be from the heart. You got to have your arguments ready, and you got to get quippy and know what we were talking about for sure. So let's go ahead and jump down to it. Let's bring on our first competitor. Like I mentioned, Drew sitting at 0-1. However, she is amazing. She is part of the dungeon. She is going to be in the upcoming singles tournament. So let's bring her on. Oh, damn it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Yeah, hi. So happy. Oh, sorry. Hey, everybody. Hey, Frank. So happy to be here. No. Sorry, I have to put VideoDrew's soul away for a second. She's going to help me debate tonight. But yeah, this is just regular Drew. This is regular Drew. I'm really excited to come back and get my stats a little bit better up, just like they're going to be in the singles tournament upcoming, because I'm 0-1 there too. So,
well, is there anything you really want to let us know about how you're preparing for the singles tournament or anything? Any extra information you would like to give us?
Yeah, sure. I would like to give somebody from the Action Army information about how I'm going to play against Mark Riley. That seems like a smart move. Sarcasm. I will say that it is the most. Last season, I told myself I will play this game until it becomes something nerdy. I can't remember if I can curse on the show or not, but I was like, the day I start taking note cards is the day I quit this game. And I'm at the part where I'm like, not just note carding, but I've got the whiteboards. I've got the Schmoeminati thing going on.
It's real.
I'm afraid that I'm outmaneuvering, I'm overthinking things, and I'm playing 5-dimensional checker chess with zero body on the other side. It's for real. I'm taking this tournament extremely seriously for me.
As you should. The dungeon, they definitely need some points right now, especially after the recent IG outcomes for sure. Yeah. Okay, now just want to introduce our next competitor sitting at 1-0. She is, pretty much Miss Numbers, on Twitter. When it comes to Schmoedown, she's amazing in every single way. And walking away from her win just a few months ago is Megs reclaimed. Megs McCurley. What's up?
I am doing great. How are you tonight?
Amazing. I just realized 3 of us are wearing this peachy pink situation between the 3 of us.
Yeah, and here's a pinky. She has a little pinky heart. Now, Frank, you said earlier that you've been hearing that she's like a Frankie Numbers, she's gonna take your job. I think that's a little bit of a misnomer. She's actually you, but she does really good graphics. So that's that's the comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I gotta up my game in the graphics.
Yeah, basically that's what it is.
Okay. Interesting.
Like you, but she also has the benefit of doing really good graphics.
Okay. That's it. Okay. All right.
That's how it is.
Good to know. Okay. Little snaps. I'm here for them snaps for sure. Megs, you, like I mentioned, you're sitting at 1-0. Obviously, you do have you're no stranger to baiting. You're a numbers girl. So how are you pretty excited going into this argument, going up against her?
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I never come into a debate overly confident, but I think I have a couple aces up my sleeves that might edge some things my direction. So we'll see how it goes.
And I'm like the Joker. Like, I'm not even here to do anything other than throw a bomb in this place and like just watch something explode. I don't plan on winning. I just plan on like making sure the world burns. So let's get to it.
Hey, if you have fun doing it, I won't fault you there.
Yeah. How do you think I got these scars? It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun, guys. Come on.
Ooh.
Oh,
Don't
man.
with my
Motto
scars.
for 2020.
Okay, this is gonna. I'm feeling it burning, Frankie. That's what I'm doing here and here. If your
location is working, so keep on with it.
That's good enough. Fingers crossed for sure. If you're not familiar with Schmoebates, thanks so much for coming on with us and hanging out with us today. Schmoebates is a debate show where we, like I mentioned earlier, really ask Schmoedown's biggest questions. This one's actually going to be themed on the singles tournament. All the questions that are going to be debated today are actually themed on that tournament, the outcome, potential matches, all that good stuff. So, you know, we definitely have some stakes, no big deal into it. But for the first question, we're going to be starting with Drew. For the second question with Megs. And for the third and final question, we're going to be using this beautiful little Action Army coin to determine who's going to walk away who's going to go first and who's going to go second, essentially. Now, just to let you know about the format as well, you have 1 minute of for your opening statements. Then you have 4 minutes of open debate, and then 1 minute of closing debate. Now, I also want to remind you about a new rule we just started not too long ago. It's 30 seconds of uninterrupted time. You can use or not use, totally up to you. You can use at any point during the debate today, but once it's used, it's gone. You can't use it at any other point during the debates today. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap it up?
Nope. Just gonna
let's go.
Okay.
bring this over here. And
right.
yeah.
All right. Well, starting with you.
Wow. Yeah.
That's terrifying. Okay. I'm not excited about that. Okay. So
Somebody else in this league who has art made for them like this. Show me. Yeah. That's right.
Fair point.
I don't know if I would want someone to make.
You want to see the back? There's teeth.
Wow, that's handy.
Yeah,
it is.
I love teeth.
That's something. That's really cool. Cool.
I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like that when I was working at Cadaver Lab. So,
oh my God,
well done.
Cadaver Lab. Oh, I'm jealous.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're going to be starting with Drew for your opening statements. You do have 1 minute to let us know your answer for the first question. And Frankie, could you please read the first question tonight?
Absolutely. All right. Question number 1. Which faction is mostly likely to have all of the competitors win their first round?
I apologize for the bad grammar. It's most likely. That was my bad.
But I read it just as you wrote it.
Win the first round or get a perfect first round?
It's more likely to win their first round. So all the competitors from the faction will win their first round match.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, first round. Okay, yeah.
For the first round, yeah. So.
I misunderstood the question, but I'm still sticking with my answer.
Okay, perfect. Right. Even better. All right. Okay, so Drew, let's hear that. That's all. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh my God.
You have 1 minute to let us know your faction pick. 1 minute starting now.
So I guess I assume that you guys meant a perfect first. Who's going to throw the perfect first round of the game? So now I have the Finstock Exchange throwing the perfect first rounds of the matches, which has me losing to Mark Riley, I guess, in this scenario. But hey, look, that's statistically, I think, still the likelihood of what's going to happen. And on the other hand of that, you have Merle and or Roca, and possibly both of them. Like you have Merle and or Roca. Like one of them's definitely going to be in it. The other one, like, might be in it. If not, you're going to get Sabrina, who's an untested quality, except we've had her on our show and our Video Chronic quiz, and she is lethal. And you also have the Barbarian. I mean, come on. Like, I hate to have myself losing to anyone, but I'm arguing this. And I'm going to passionately argue this. Yeah, I yield my time. Whatever.
Okay, last 5 seconds. So I just want to double check. That includes Merle / so it's going to be Merle / Roca
/ Sabrina.
/ Sabrina.
Right.
Merle and or Roca.
Very, very convoluted.
Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And the Barbarian.
Yes.
Barbarian. That's a lot of
That's a lot of talent.
That's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, but
for sure.
But
okay, but we're going to save that for the open debate later on. And over to you, Megs. You also have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your faction pick. You have 1 minute starting now.
So what faction is coming off of some pretty underestimated players making some big waves in this league? Swag. Ace, just running through the Star Wars tournament. Who does Swag have in the singles tournament? Paulo Yama, Liz Shannon Miller, Lon Harris, Frank Moran, who is a free agent. We know nothing about him yet. Winston has done pretty well with his late round picks as well as his known commodities. So where can you go wrong there? They've got some pretty good matchups which are going to be challenging for them. However, Winston has brought his players up to a level that is going to meet the challenge. And he is going to coach them and encourage them all the way down the line to victories within this first round of the tournament. And that's
okay. That's all I got. Okay, we're yielding the 12 seconds. Okay, all right. Okay, so these are really great, solid picks. One is definitely favorited more than the other, but like I mentioned, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts surrounding it, but also Swag. You can't deny it. Swag has done a tremendous over these past few months with the Star Wars tournament and beyond. So what do you think about these picks so far, Frankie?
Yeah, with the Drew's pick here, the Finstock Exchange, I think that's a pretty good way to go, because if Merle and Roka are both in the tournament, and then your third best player is Barbarian or Riley, however you want to split that. But to round out all four like that, that's pretty dangerous. And yes, they would all definitely, I think, be favored. And VideoDrew kind of conceded that point. Also, not to mention that if Sabrina was in the tournament, then she would have to defeat Vinny Mancuso, who's also from the dungeon. So VideoDrew, a lot of confidence in the dungeon, which is great for Megs, Swag, and Winston. I think Winston has done a tremendous job with players who don't have as much experience with the Schmoedown and getting them prepared. But she pointed out Paulo Yama, Lon Harris, they have strong play in the past. Paulo Yama obviously a champion, and we'll see what Frank Moran can do. But like she said with Swag and Winston, he can get the most out of his players, especially those late round picks. So solid arguments to start.
Yeah, it's really clear that the later picks from the draft in January have proven to be somewhat low-key the best picks for sure this season so far. Okay, well, you guys have 4 minutes of open debate to really get us in your favor of the faction Swag or the Finstock Exchange based on, these selections for sure. You have 4 minutes starting now.
Wait, so do I just start yelling, or like, how does this work? Okay, so here's the thing. The Swag is great. Swag has a lot of swagger. There's nothing I love more than Winston and Ace and like the comeback, this story of their upswing. But I mean, like, Lon Harris, I love the guy, but this is not the professor. We're talking about the delinquent. Who knows what he's going up to? Frank Moran,
let me tell you about the delinquent.
But let me tell you something. The delinquents played one game. This is a clean play, as opposed to Roka, Riley, and Merle, who are all belt holders. Who have all held belts at various points. That's just unconceivable.
On that point, Drew, where were you not recently saying that you are going to be the next big thing in singles?
Yeah.
So how can you say that Riley's going to beat you in the first round? Because you're contradicting yourself.
Like the American Constitution, I am full of contradictions. I can both believe that I am going to win and also believe that the Finstock Exchange probability, statistical likelihood, although I'm not a math geek, is probability-wise is going to give them the far and away advantage for having the most, having all of their players beat their first opponents.
I agree that statistics have a big part in it. However, remember the true theme of the Schmoedown, any given day. Any given day, someone can get beat. You could beat Mark Riley on any given day.
Yeah,
Roka and Merle can have bad days, i.e., Guy beating Merle. Roka has had his ups and downs very consistently. Riley has his ups and downs very consistently. Barbarian is untested. He has shown that he's got some cracks in his armor with this IG run that he went on. And we all talk about Finstock. Really?
Is it really Finstock though that we're talking about? Or are we talking about the real?
Okay, let's talk about Sabrina then. Let's talk about Sabrina because
let's talk about the man behind the curtain who's really running the operation. Finstock's a great, he's like a great spokesperson. That's a great powerful Oz. But let's talk about Benjamin Bateman for a second. Let's talk about strategy. Let's talk about the person who's going to be not playing the game but coaching every single one of the players about how best to use the strategy of the Schmoedown to their best advantage. There's no one you can want as a coach in terms of getting a statistical likelihood and gaming out certain competitors and knowing strengths and weaknesses. No one's scarier than Ben Bateman. I'm scared of Ben Bateman. Take that in. I am scared of Ben Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
as you should be. But let's think about another player in this exchange, Emily Rose Jacobson. Statistically, she did not change anything in her score between her first IG match of this year and the second match. She had all that time for people to build her up. Sabrina may be good right now, but when you get under those lights and that pressure of being in the game, everything goes out the window potentially. And Finstock's just going to say, well, we talked about this. You know what to do. Do you really? Do you really know what to do?
I think there's an argument there that, Emily Rose Jacobson was doing a different game. I'm sorry, but the Star Wars game is a different game than the regular Schmoedown.
That would be IG, honey.
IG, sorry. Well, didn't she also do Star Wars? Did she not?
No, she did not.
Oh, sorry,
so
let's the nerd stuff. I'm sorry, the nerd stuff is not what interests me. We're talking about the singles bracket.
Let's get back to that singles tournament here. Lon Harris, perfect round one in his first teams.
Yeah,
Kawayama, a previous champion. He lost to Roka, and he is going to come back with a vengeance.
So he lost to Roka. So I'm sorry. This is the guy who picked young adult and he didn't remember what
round two.
He didn't remember
he's gonna have to fight for it, but come on.
And Roka got that steal off.
And time. That wraps up our open debate for our first round question.
Woo.
Oh my gosh!
You know what got me? Meg said, "Honey." He said, "Honey." I was like, "Dang." Here we go. That was great.
Sweetie.
I would like to remind everyone at home that when this question was asked, it was phrased in a way that I believe the question was, who's going to have the players who get the perfect round one scores, in the round one game. There might not. But then again, you know what? What's weird is I would have never chosen Finstock Exchange, but secretly in my heart, I probably would have known the likelihood averages would be Finstock. It's just true, right? It's math. You guys can't argue math.
If I can comment on some of what you both have said real quick, I think there's some great points made by both of you. VideoDrew brings up the strategy element of the Finstock Exchange tied with Ben Bateman mostly, how that can really help the group overall. I think that's a huge advantage for Finstock Exchange. But Meg brings up Emily Rose Jacobson. How could that transfer and relate to Sabrina Ramirez and her entry into the tournament as a first-time player? There is an argument out there that I'm not going to say for who could make it, but it hasn't been brought up yet, and I'm really interested if it will. If not, I'll definitely have to bring it up at the end. But so far, I'm liking what I'm hearing from both of them.
Absolutely. Now you do mention that Meg with swag, they definitely have some competitors. Looking at the list, they only have one champion under their belt with Oyama. Obviously, fantastic. Liz Shannon Miller, Lons, Frank Morin, he's a true rookie this year. But they have only one champion, and we don't know the ideas of who's mentoring, if there is that kind of mentorship training aspect. But that's something that you did bring up. You do have Bateman, and you have potentially Merle training and really mentoring these people. But also at the same time, Emily Rose Jacobson is a prime example of, sometimes it doesn't click and sometimes it does. And she's definitely obviously amazing, but sometimes it doesn't always work out, unfortunately. So I would love to see you guys kind of argue in favor of, being who are their opponents also? We haven't really touched on that. Who are the individual opponents that these people are going up against? Is Oyama going against a rookie? Is Oyama going up against going up against another established player or a champion or whatever it may be. So these competitors, you have to take in consideration who they're going up against in order to win. Make sure all people win as well. So I'd love to see you guys address that. Is there anything in particular you would really need them to address in their closing statements to guarantee your vote?
No, I think that's actually what you brought up there is who are their opponents and are they favored? I would like to hear more on what they think about those matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be so many great matches coming up in singles tournaments. I am ecstatic. But real quickly, just some people in the chat, I am the 911. My dude, fire.
Is that Jimmy Simpson from Westworld? Sorry, just kidding.
Yes, that is Westworld. Yeah, there you go. Movie fan overseeing. I think there's less pressure in streaming matches than in the studio.
Sorry, that's untrue. As somebody who's played that exhibition match, it's somehow even harder because you're just in an empty room and you're not feeding off the energy. It's weird, but it's actually, at least in my experience, it's been way more stressful to do these matches at home.
Other competitors say the same.
Yeah, it's different for everyone. Some people thrive on that, and some people it creates the opposite effect. So it's really competitor to competitor. 2-level trading says the Schmoebates has entered the chat. Call 911. I couldn't agree more. Always there, always listening. Okay, and we're going to be going into our closing statements, and we're going to be again starting with Drew for your closing statement. Please address any of the questions and things that we do mention in your closing statement as well. And also just want to remind you, you can use your 30-second rule if you want to use it now or later, totally up to you. But you have 1 minute to get us your vote. Everyone in the chat, their votes really in favor of the FinStock Exchange. You have 1 minute starting now.
Okay, that part of the legal courtroom thriller where the lawyer starts out with an argument that seems to dismantle his entire case and then brings it back around? So yes, when you think about the opponents, the fact that Rocha and Merle, one of them will have to beat the other, makes it statistically impossible for the FinStock Exchange to have a perfect first round by definition. However, I still think that because one of them has to win the contendership, right? So that means the title. So that means somebody's losing from that faction. However, there exists a reality where this does not affect the teams at all because maybe it's outside the matches because Sabrina then counts as the fourth player. I mean, at any rate, if you're going to have anyone beat you, it's going to be someone within your own faction, which I think still counts as a win technically. And that's the kind of logic we're working with tonight.
Okay. All right. I'm good. All right. She didn't say yield, but that's okay. Okay, I did the countdown. All right. Fantastic.
Oh, they have more time. I see it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No worries. Yes. So, yeah, you know what? I understand. I do need Grammarly. Whatever.
Grammarly's the best.
Oh. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to be going over to Megs. You got to let us know everything Swag needs to do in order to not only, win all the matches for the competitors, but also sway everyone and to vote in favor of you as well. You have 1 minute starting now.
First off, who is Paul Yama up against? Either Marisol or Bonnie Somerville.
That's one.
If by some miracle Bonnie Somerville makes it or even shows up, it's going to be a question of, does Marisol have the strategy to take out Oyama? Potentially not. Lashana Miller is going against Rachel Silvestrini. You look at their respective records. Lashana Miller has consistently higher average of numbers, so statistically there is more likely a fact that she will beat her. Lon Harris is going to go up against Sabina Graves, who is new to singles and also has only had 1 or 2 teams matches under his belt. Frank Moran, if he gets through his play-in match against James White, he will go up against Bibbs. I'm assuming he's going to beat James White because James White got traded away. Silly about that.
Seconds.
Bibbs. I'm sorry. Bibbs, I love you. You do better in teams. This is asking for an upset. This is asking for an upset.
Wow. How do you tank your argument faster than I just tanked mine? This was a real mom spaghetti moment. We just,
wow. It was asked to be
said. I guess we're just being super truthful here.
I'm going to give you one caveat. All of my arguments are made for the purpose of this debate and should not be taken as my complete
right.
views on this subject.
And that clearly mine as well, especially because I misunderstood the question and didn't have myself winning my own match, which is something. So that shows like how good I am at arguing, that I even managed to, deer in the headlights, make this argument work.
But let's be honest, when it comes to making a successful argument, a lot of it comes down to passion and intensity. That's definitely an aspect of it. Just real quickly from the chat, before I move on to the second question, ooh, damn, Bibbs shame. What's up? Megs with the hot take. But also, yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how the bracket is going to work for the
see me neither. So therefore my argument isn't valid.
You don't know what's happening.
So it's regardless. Okay, so regardless, I think again they're both.
I want to cover my bases in terms of logic. I didn't want to have like a math problem.
Now, like I mentioned previously, it's totally up to you guys to vote. The people that are watching this, you guys are going to be walking away. You guys are going to be the ones to determine which one of these competitors are going to be winning today with potentially 2-0 or a 1-1. So
an
it's really up to you guys. A potential upset. Yes. Now you can do so. Jake is actually going to be, he's in the chat, like whipping out that link. So you can go do it right now, or you can do it a little bit later, but you have to do it while we're recording. Otherwise it's not going to fucking matter. Because if you decide, I'll wait to vote tomorrow, whatever it might be, it's not going to fucking matter.
Can I address something in the comments real quick? Commenting nerd saying I didn't bring up Bibbs being Moran. That's because I don't have Moran making it past White.
Oh, snaps.
Like, sorry, I didn't want to bring that up, but like, yeah, why would he even get to play Bibbs? That would be second. No.
Oh, well, we are going to be moving on to our second round questions. And do you guys want to take a breather for real quick before we move on, or you guys feel emotionally ready?
I'm good.
Frankie, are you emotionally ready? I don't know if I am.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm ready for the fire.
Fire, not fire.
Can't guarantee I'll have as good of a hot take later on, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out if I know what I'm talking about. If like my words even are words. What are words? They're made up. All words are made up.
Well, somebody was asking what the purpose of movies were. I said, oh my, how much time do we have for this?
Yeah, you got magical grits. Grits that like cook faster on your. Yeah, I got the whole My Cousin Vinny thing going for me. Let's keep going.
For the second round question, we're going to be starting with Megs for the opening as well as the closing statement. You have 1 minute for both of them, but Frankie, please read the second round question.
Here we go. Which rookie will have the best debut in the singles tournament?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I put that a little too quickly. Yeah, in the singles tournament, yes. There's a lot of rookies playing for the very first time in the singles league, so you have quite a few options. Okay, starting with Megs, you have 1 minute on the clock. Starting now.
When you're looking at best debut, it's not just about how good the player is specifically, but how well of a path has been forged for them in order to succeed within that bracket. So looking at who has not come into a singles tournament yet, Tim Franco. Tim Franco came in with a lot of hype into the teams, going up with Stacey Howard, did very well on his run there, was kind of the anchor that stayed pretty consistent throughout that whole run with them. I think he's been set up very nicely with his seed to be able to not breeze through, but to put up some really good fight against the people that he has been placed up against. Tim Franco has Coy in his corner. He's got who doesn't want Coy hyping you up for a match?
10 seconds.
And Tim Franco has had a passion for this game. He has been inside the space, being connected with late to the party, so he is primed and ready to go and is going to just breeze through.
And time.
Yeah, good luck with that against Tom.
Can I ask just a clarification on the question?
Yes.
Perhaps again? Alex?
Yes.
How did we clarify this question?
So which rookie will have the best debut in the singles tournament? So they have not played. They said they have not competed.
He's not a rookie, but he's a rookie in singles.
He's never played singles. He's never played a singles game before.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
yes.
I knew that was going to be a confusion, but yes, it is specifically singles. I did clarify.
Right. So, for example, like hypothetically, Robert, is it Montano?
Montano, yeah.
Yeah,
Montana. Yes, he has played in teams, obviously part of the late to the party. But he's making his debut as a rookie in the singles tournament for the first time in this one.
However, like the Barbarian, who's not played in a tournament, has played a singles game, so he was out of contention. He was out of the running.
Yes.
Oh, okay, well then that would mean Tim Franco's in the same boat as Barbarian.
He's played the
Tim
team.
Franco played against Matt Atchity in the singles. That was his debut. Yeah.
Drew wins.
Like I said, that quantity over quality.
Okay, you know what? Fine. No, I'm sticking with my answer. And fine.
That's why I wanted to clarify if they were like a rookie to tournaments or a rookie in general. That's why I was kind of wondering around the
stick with my
clarification.
answer. You know what? We can allow that it would still be just rookie for.
I'll say he has not been in a tournament.
Yeah.
So if we're okay with it being singles tournament debut.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I can pitch hit if we absolutely need to, but
no.
Yeah, thank you. I apologize for the confusion. That was completely my fault. I take full blame. My bad. Okay, but Tim Franco or let's see it happen. You have 60 seconds on the clock, and moving over to Drew as well. You have 60 seconds on the clock, starting right now.
Gosh, I'm so torn because half of me just wants to respond right now with LOL, but against Tom. But I think I'll just spend this time talking about something that is probably not on everyone's radar yet. But if you've been watching the Video Chronic Pop Culture quizzes, then you know him, you love him. He's on the dungeon with us now for a very specific reason, and that's Andre Galago, Galaghost, if you know him on here. He is lethal. He is somebody who's got the Rosetta Stone of movie trivia Schmoedown, which is movie release dates. He's got that on lock. And once you get that on lock, you know the rest of this game like the back of your hand. Who knows movie release dates? Bateman. Who knows movie release dates? Scott Mance. But it's going to be incredible to watch Andres do what he does because I've been watching it now for a couple months every day. And compared to Tim Franco, who's a great guy, but is literally going against Tom, my Tom in the first round. I don't see it happening.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Yes, but you heard it. So I was taking notes and I forgot to look at the clock. My bad. So it came down to pretty much Franco or Galago. So these are both really awesome competitors. One of them has a few more matches than the other. But like you said, you've been doing a lot of one-on-one time with him, being part of Video Chronic. So I'm not surprised that, you have a little more knowledge about what's going on for him behind the scenes. What do you think about these, rookie picks?
This is very interesting because with Meg going with Franco versus Tom, that's an uphill battle for Meg, I think, and because we have no actual proper Schmoedown tape on Galago or his opponent Adam Collins, who is a family or who I've heard great things about. Yeah. I'm very interested to see where these arguments go because I think they both have some hills to climb in order to make a sound argument over one another, and this could get interesting.
Who would have you gone with?
As a rookie for the debut?
Probably Tom, right? It would probably be Tom.
In terms of just a pure singles rookie tournament rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You would probably have to look at the list, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, actually.
Let me just shorten this. Frank picks Tom, and therefore this argument's already over.
Honestly, as a rookie to the tournament, I would go Oyama. He's a tournament rookie. If that's the requisite.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, this has gotten real.
That got real interesting.
Yeah, Schmoebates needs a rule book. #.
But as a pure rookie, I think Vinny.
Don't do this to me, Frank. Don't do this to me.
I think he can. Yeah.
Don't make me argue against Vinny Mancuso, a sport that I've raised.
These are just my opinions.
But Vinny's was my protege at the New York Observer. I molded Vinny. That you can't hit me. Don't do that. You're flustering me.
I don't blame you. I too am quite flustered. Okay, so we're going to be going into 4 minutes of open debate in favor of Franco or Galago. Okay, you guys have 4 minutes starting right now.
So I appreciate that you are touting someone that you've gotten to know very well, but let's just look at some statistics on where he's going to be seating at. He gets past Adam Collins. He's guaranteed either Merle or Roca. For argument's sake, let's just go with the fact that he's going to go up against Merle. You say he's got movie release dates down.
Wait. Wouldn't be on the table too? Because possibly
other side of the
other side
of the bracket. Mm-hmm. But yes, let's just, for argument's sake, let's just throw Merle out as an option. He knows Gallagher knows movie release dates. Ben also knew that, and he still lost to Merle. That does not guarantee that you are going to take down one of the greats in the game.
And look, there's some great things to say about numbers, and this game could be broken down into numbers. But at the end of the day, like, who found Tom in the first place? Who found Vinny Mancuso, to Frank's point? And who found Andres? Not me, but Nerd Chronic. That's Nerd Chronic, who would literally destroy this entire league if he had been allowed to stay in corruption. He's the one that told Kaiser, you have to draft this guy. That's how much faith Nerd Chronic. I'm gonna pull this card. That's how much the faith Nerd Chronic has in Andres. So you don't need to trust me and like my track record of picking like just far and away like amazing talent to be part of this game. You can just trust the fact that like Nerd Chronic vouches for it. I'm not doubting that he's highly touted, but I'm talking about debut. I'm talking about who is going to throw a really good showing. Tim Franco against Tom is going to be a barn burner match. Tom is good. I will never say otherwise. We've seen that he bleeds. Yeah. He had some stumbles there in the teams. Sorry, did Tim get a perfect team? Did Tim get perfect in the teams because with the Stacey Howard thing? Because I don't remember him going perfect. He went perfect. He has at least one, maybe two perfect round ones. Oh, well, that's funny because Tom has like at least an entire season's worth of round ones perfect. But that's with you. But that's with you on his side. Round one is the round one. It's like I was saying with this. You've got the team's dynamic. Yeah, but on your own. You're on your own for round one. Round one, you do not rely on your partner at all. Tom's perfect round ones carried us to the semifinals, and that was if anyone's asking how we got to the semifinals, no one's being confused about who got carried all the way. Who also had perfect rounds in round one? Tim Franco. It's not going to be a one totally dominating the other. It's going to be a strong contender. Now, again, it's best debut. They're going to have to fight it out. And that's just as good of a debut than burning somebody out. I guess maybe we're just defining best differently. Like I'm defining best as knocking someone out as like KO within the first couple things and then going on to defeat Roca or Merle being the biggest upset of the season and just going on for the entire league and doing what basically Tom did for teams last season in the Looney Bin because no one's confused. No one's confused about like what happened last season with the Looney Bin, right? It's like I have a great personality. No one's confused. And that was somebody that I groomed and picked, and this is somebody that I would say is just as good as Tom. Franco's sitting pretty with his matchups, but how we define best? He's had to fight tooth and nail to get through that first round. So I guess how do you define best? Do you define best as best, or you define best as most interesting to watch? Best is going to be: are they going to show up consistently in the match, and are they going to?
That wraps up our open debate for our second round question. I do know some people in the chat were a little confused about some of the people selected for this debate, and that was totally my bad. I did not clarify, fully when I say rookie. I'm going 2 for 2 for confusion here on the questions. I'm going perfect round, perfect.
I want to be the first time VideoDrew has questioned the validity of a question.
I catch on in a categorical sense. This whole Schmoebates is out of order. You brought up Vinny. I call it out of order. You know what? You brought Vinny, and then I thought, oh my God, Tom is also on the table. God, sorry, guys. Sorry, my goodness.
It's all good. Now, before we go into the closing statements real quickly for in favor of Tim Franco and Andres Gallego, just real quickly want to say thank you so much for Vernon for your donation, but also loving the Schmoebates. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it. And also, but like I mentioned, if this is like your first Schmoebate, definitely check out some of our other episodes. We have whole tournaments and, so it's a real fun
in the
time.
chat. Look who's in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't because I've been so busy being confused about what's happening, where I am, and what's going on.
I was allowed to run with it, so that's
very true.
That's all I want to say in my defense on that.
Yes, and I forgot what we were doing.
I also didn't realize that.
And I'm doing such a good job covering.
Anyway, okay, so we're going to be going into the closing statements. Now, you did mention Franco is going to be going up against Tom, obviously. So it's going to be a really great match. I can't remember off the top of my head. Who's Andres Gallego going up against?
Adam Collins from the family.
Adam
and then
Collins.
Roca Merle.
Okay, Adam Collins, and on to Merle Roca. Okay, got it. Okay. Well, man, there's a lot to kind of dive into. Okay, now as like a numbers man, how do you feel like, Frankie? How do you feel like when you're assessing these, rookies essentially? How do you feel like you kind of assess, their potential skill set? As a reactor, as a
so it's a different. Both of these options presented are, you have to look at them with different. There's more data on Tom and on Tim Franco. There's really none on Gallego and Adam Collins unless you go look at the fan league stuff. So in regards to Tom and Tim Franco, Tom has better numbers, but he's never played singles. Tim has played singles and played teams, so he has that type of experience going for him where he's played alone, but he's played with a teammate. Tom has never played alone. How does he react onto an online world and in singles? We'll see. In terms of these fan leaguers or rookies with Gallego and Collins.
Yeah, not a fan leaguer. Let's be clear. He's not a fan leaguer.
Right.
Right. Man, no. Yeah.
So it's really hard because you don't really truly know. Fan leaguers have a good track record of coming in and looking like very competent players. So that does present a hurdle for Gallego just based on what we know and might perceive to extrapolate from that.
But you have to understand that he's not coming from the family perspective. This would be the equivalent of Christian bringing someone on. This was Nerd Chronic bringing someone on. He's not someone who is a fan of Schmoedown. Yeah, he's coming in as someone who's not been following this,
Right, and many people have come into the Schmoedown that have not been fan leaguers and have done well, but have also not done particularly well. But most fan leaguers who come in, I think, have done pretty well.
Yeah, it's scary. It's absolutely scary.
These are tough arguments to make with two very interesting picks from both sides.
Yeah, there's something also good to know is that who is backing them up, who is training them, who are their managers, how are they helping them motivate through this tournament? Going into your first match as a rookie into the singles tournament where there's so many talented people, so many confident players. What are you doing to kind of keep yourself up, and who is having your back, motivating you, and making sure, or at least trying to make sure you're staying trained? So please address those things as well. And I blame Gravity 23. Oh, there is data on Gallegos, deep level Schmoedown classified.
Yeah, it's almost like if you watched a certain YouTube show that's on twice a week, you would have some data on Gallego. So I'm just saying. Just
sweep it. All right, so we are going to be starting again with Megs for the closing statement. We have 1 minute on the clock to let us know why we should vote in favor of Tim Franco over Andres. You have 1 minute starting now.
So to address who is coaching him up, you have Koijandrew. Admittedly, not the best competitor, but he has brought the likes of John Humphrey and Greg Alba through teams victories, as well as wins in Inner Geekdom, which no one thought they were going to be good at. That is a testament. Now, Humphrey, Greg, they were not touted as IG players when they came into the league. Let me clarify that. But Koi had faith in them to come up into the IG League, and they had a good showing. So Koi's going to do the same thing with Franco. He is going to bolster him up. He is going to bring him into his own, and he is going to do what he does best. And that is going to be to win. And he is going to have an excellent debut that we're all going to be talking about him into the end of the year. And I'm good.
Okay. Last few seconds remaining. Okay. All right. And over to Drew. You also have 1 minute on the clock. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Starting now.
To quote a great mentor of mine, King George from Hamilton, Tim Franco against Tom, good luck. Like, absolutely good luck. Like, yeah, sure. Like that has the potential. If it's an upset, it's an upset. But my God, good luck. Meanwhile, who's coaching them? Who's got them on their side? I don't know. Maybe someone who's got the best eye for talent, basically, that we've seen in the game for a while. Maybe even enough to make a manager one day. I'm just saying. And someone who's the literal editor of this entire show and knows the game backwards and forwards. And he's the person who's saying, this guy is the one to beat. This guy is going to be. I mean, there was a lot of people that wanted to be on the dungeon. Can you imagine? But there were. And there's no one that that Kaiser listened to except for Nerd Chronic. And if you're going to go against Nerd Chronic's idea about who's going to be winning this, I don't know what to tell you. I see my time.
Okay. Also yielding last few seconds. Okay. It's been a confusing question to see debated today, and that's totally fine. Yeah. Even better. What's a good debate? We're going in circles every once in a while. I think it's
circle. Like, did I do this? Does me being on here make everything confusing? So, wow. Sorry.
It's a neuralizer.
It makes things fun. Keeps us on our toes.
I apologize to Tom and to Vinny for forgetting that they were also rookies.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, you guys as fans, as viewers, you guys get to vote to really determine who's walking away with this win as well. You can do so right here. We're trying a new website to do our polling and all that good stuff. So please go use it right away, or you can use it after we wrap up our third and final round question again. All right. So just a few quick things from the chat. A lot of people are saying, a lot of love from Marisol. She's amazing. We had her on a little call live episode earlier this week, which is really fun. And thanks so much for Christian for popping in. Really appreciate it.
Can I clarify a thing real quick? I see a lot of people saying voodoo dolls. This isn't a doll. Their voodoo dolls are back in New York. They were created by the same artist who created this lovely sculpture, Heather Sabian. But no, this is not a doll. This is a sculpture. This is a soul-bearing sculpture. So please get it right, or she will come to you in the middle of the night and hover over your bed singing a quiet little song.
Have you seen the show? What We Do in the Shadows?
Have I seen the show What We Do in the Shadows?
No, I know. I love the show as well. But in the show there is a reference to the doll.
It's almost like they stole off my bit.
Make sure.
It looks like they stole something that someone had already made for me and made into a bit. And by the way, not to mention Nerd Chronic again, does an incredible Matt Berry impression. Bat. Yeah. Human form.
Human form.
Human form. I love the lady wife.
Okay, on to our third and final question. Go ahead and read it off, Frankie.
Here we go. This is my favorite question. I thought of it. Which quad of the bracket is the toughest? I want to know.
I was like, the fun one. I was like, what happened to the fun one? It's usually the one for fun. What happened?
Frankie looked at these questions and he's like, not hard enough.
Oh, good, more math.
Well, at least I give you 4 options, so
Yeah, 1 out of 4. That's how math works, right? There's only 1 out of 4 is right, so that's the statistics on this. Well, great.
There's no right or wrong answer. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Somehow we managed to make wrong answers out of I feel like every single one of our choices. So let's see what we can do here.
I feel like it's only fair that at the very end, Frank, you need to tell us what your choice would have been.
Only at the very end as well.
At the very end, we need to know.
Maybe I wanted to ask you that so I could help decide what I would pick, because I don't really know.
I think Frank's answers would be neither one of our answers. I think Frank's got different answers than either one of us and would choose his own thing. I'm pretty sure like I can guess where Frank's head is at for at least that second one. But
real quick, I just want to let you know what the quad options are when we say quad. Looking at this little bracket here with all the potential matches. Now we have 4 quads here. Obviously, that's what a quad is. Now, obviously, now the first quad, so the first quad ranges from up here with Galagos, Collins, Merle, Roca, and everything, all the way down here to Matt Atchity. That's one quad up there. Chance Ellison, all the way down to James White. That's another quad. Kempe versus that one, whatever that situation is going to be, all the way down to Tom, Mike Kalinowski, to Bonnie Somerville. Is it Somerville or Somerville?
It's like the TV show. Somerville.
Tomato, my dude. Tomato. So obviously a lot of wonderful competitors and all the quads. A lot of great matches, and inevitably it's going to happen in all the quads. So let's see you guys dive into it. Now for the third and final one, we're also going to be using this magical little coin here to determine who's going to go first. And we did mention earlier that Drew has chosen the fifth year anniversary kind of situation, and Megs chose the boom side as well.
Well, can we clarify? I have no idea what either of those means, and pick one.
I mean, they don't mean anything. They don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, and it is the AMA 5th anniversary. Therefore, Drew gets a choice. Do you want to go first or defer?
Yeah, I want to go first.
Want to go first? Okay,
yeah.
You have 1 minute on the clock.
Sure. Can we just bring up that? I'm going to use my extra 30 seconds here. Can we bring up that graphic for a second? Can we bring that back up?
Totally.
Let's take a look here. The graphic of the.
Oh, you want the graphic?
Yeah, sorry. This doesn't count as my time. Right? Okay, let's see. Okay, that first half, the second half. Yeah, that's looking good. Oh, what's happening down in the bottom right? We got Kalinowski, Riley, myself, Snyder, Paulo Yama. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my own bracket here. That bottom right quadrant is horrifying.
It is horrifying. Yes,
because we're all terrified. Like these are all people that I'm terrified to go up against, and I am a scary person. So I mean, I don't think there's any other. There are other strengths in other people's brackets, but I don't think anyone's bracket involves this many scary players. I see Barbarian and Bibbs are on one bracket, but then you have everyone else who's pretty good, but like there's no. I mean, Chance is pretty good, but like you don't have the Snyder, the Oyama, the Kalinowski, the Riley. I mean, the me. That's the scariest bracket. And like, honestly, it's super scary. I got that extra 30 seconds.
Yeah, you asked for that 30 seconds. I'm
just going to spend that time doing Hamilton. No, I will say that this is something that kayfabe aside, I am taking this tournament really seriously, and my stomach dropped when I saw what quadrant I was in, because it seems like the strongest, most difficult thing to go past. Yep, that's my time.
Okay, all the time. And also, just want to remind you, man, you also have 30 seconds uninterrupted time that you can use or not use totally at your leisure. But you also have 1 minute on the clock to let us know which quad was your selection. And just want to bring it back, that little, picture back up.
Go ahead.
Yep. Start. You have 1 minute starting now.
All right. So I'm looking at all these brackets here, and I'm looking at, okay, which is the toughest? And I'm thinking, which is the toughest for me to predict? What is the one that I'm seeing the most likelihood of some big upsets, some unexpected turns? And I'm looking at that upper right quadrant there. There's a lot of pick'ems up there. Yeah, you've got your Erwin or Roca up there, but oh my goodness. Tom, Tim Franco, Jader, Paul Preston, Eric Zipper, all these guys have things to prove in this league, and that quadrant sets them up to have a very tough, drawn-out fights with their competitors that are going to just make for some great entertainment so that you can see exactly what these players are made of.
Me being like me, I actually wonder is the toughest.
One of the bracket is the toughest.
Okay, now, I guess again, we can define things differently. Okay, yeah, I do that.
Like quadrant, the fourth.
Yes. No, that's not the word I'm.
Right, no. I know what she's asking. It's good.
Yeah. I know, Janice, you mentioned you pitched this question. You were like, this is a question I really want to see these people debate. You know, obviously, you know, as the stats man, you know, going into this one in particular is really difficult to do. Now, what are you kind of think of both these options? Obviously, great, you know, competitors all around, but you know, there's a lot of specific matches that we're going to see, and some of them are very obviously going to be really great matches, and some of them it's just like a little more obvious. So what do you think so far?
Yeah, what do you think is tough, Frank?
So here's the thing. Normally when you look at the bracket, you go, who has like the best players? But what I like what Meg did here is kind of reframe it within the question and ask, you know, what are going to be, where you can see the upsets? Can you pick one or the other? I think the way she reframed it makes it for an interesting way, or interesting to see how she argues her point, because now I'm curious to see where she might go with this, because I do have a quad in mind that I think is the toughest. But I'm curious to see what Meg's going to say here, and VideoDrew for that matter.
Oh, thanks.
The combat now.
Yeah, because we weren't confused enough what words mean in this Schmoebates.
Yeah.
All words are made up. Sure. Okay.
What are words? Words are a thing, I guess, I suppose. And I do know there was some question in the chat. Just want to let you know that when we were talking about brackets, we were referring to specifically. I just want to bring that back up again. So it refers to there's four obviously this is like this is one massive bracket, but these are there's four sets right here, obviously. Everything from Kempe Ramirez down to Tom, that's one bracket. Kalinowski down to Somerville down here, that's another bracket. Galagos all the way down to Atchity, that's another bracket. And the fourth and final one is Ellison down here to James White. So there's four brackets. It's a quad.
Frank, how are these brackets looking? How's the brackets looking up this year?
What's that?
How are the brackets shaping up this year?
And how do you mean? I don't know how you mean.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Never mind. Just don't worry about it.
I see what she's doing. Okay.
All right, we're going to have minutes on the clock to do some open debates starting right now.
I've already forgotten the question. Sorry, I'm just saying toughest.
Toughest quadrant.
Toughest quadrant. I mean, what is tough? Tough is a synonym for chewy. I guess tough means like leather, like this VideoDrew sculpture is made out of. Tough means of a texture that is rough to the fingers. I mean, we could all define words. What are brackets? What are
Oh, come back.
I'm going to pause it until she comes back, until she's unfrozen.
I was going to say there we go.
Okay. We're
Okay.
You're frozen there for a minute, Drew. We couldn't hear you.
That's okay. You know what? I'm going to have her finish off my argument. What are words? What is scary? What is tough? Who are you really going to go against? Yeah, we can all define things, but at the end of the day, I think we know what tough really means, and that means the scariest, the thing you would least like to go against, the thing that's going to give you nightmares to think about ever having to play or pick sides on. Like trying to pick who's going to win on that fucking bottom right. That's what it means to be tough. It's tough any way you slice it. It is a tough round. There's going to be losers, and they're going to be some of your favorite people. It is tough. It is brutal, and it is very, very VideoDrew.
Megs?
So, yeah, sorry, I was thinking we were in another section. I was just letting her ramble.
Yeah,
but
I was wondering what you were doing. I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, it's all good. Life is tough. So when you're looking at tough, yes, that bottom side of the bracket, that is scary to look at.
And being,
but it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to come out of that. You're going to see on every top seed on that quadrant is someone who has either been a champion within a division or has been a contender for a title within any division within this league.
Right. That's what tough means. Difficult to beat.
Tough to predict, maybe not.
Or to beat.
What's going to be tough is seeing who's going to end up coming out of that top right bracket, because you're going to have either Ethan or Roka up there at the top, depending. But everything else, you have got some players that have shown some real potential, and this is going to be their tournament to run into, and they're going to have to be tough and gut it out.
That's exciting. That's interesting. That's not tough. 2020 is tough. That's not like being like, ooh, let's see what will happen. Like we're engaged in finding out. 2020 is tough. That bottom right quadrant is tough. There are some tough choices to be made. It is not a positive indicator. That word is not.
Tough choices means that they're evenly matched. You've got some competitors in there that is going to be statistically very tough to choose against.
Yeah, Mike and Perry, me and Riley. It's literally the biggest. Like me and Riley
are the closest one that I see on there. Oyama, he's got to go against Bonnie Somerville or Marisol. Marisol, I love you, girl, but.
Flip a coin for me and Marley, because the Facebook groups and
Reddit.
That's
the only one I give you a flip. I flip a coin on anyone in that top right bracket.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like literally Perry versus Mike. You've got me versus Riley. You have like, oh yeah. I mean, like,
okay,
guys,
Mike,
when you get to the second feed of it, I'm not going to spoil the IG match, but one of either Chance or KO is going to be coming out of that bracket, and they're either going to be riding high and or they're going to be out for revenge. Exactly.
And
that's what tough means.
But that also does not guarantee it's going to be tough to pick who it is, because you can't bet against someone who's got a big old fire under them, and they're going to be trying to take each other down.
You can't bet against something if you don't care that much about it, because you're so busy biting your nails over the
and time. That wraps it up. Our open debate for our final question today. Now, I do know there is a little bit of trying to understand what defines tough. And that is a very, I don't want to say it's a subjective word. I guess it is.
That's a breaking video, Drew, and that's something. That's a breaking me.
It's definitely a word that, a lot of people have very different, versions of it for sure. Okay, now, I am gonna, once we stop recording and everything, I am gonna ask you which one do you think is the hardest. Obviously, Frankie, but I gotta know. There were some arguments I heard they both of them make, and some of them definitely made sense, like you mentioned. So like you said, Megs, they, you flip a coin on a lot of them, you just don't know. Versus the other one has. Another one has like a lot of champions as well. So what do you kind of thinking so far about these arguments, Frankie?
Yeah, it's very
tough,
interesting to listen to these arguments and where they're arguing from, the point that they're arguing from, because I understand both stances. It's can you convince me that one or the other is better than you know what I'm trying to say there. One is better than the other. So that I'm not going to say too much, but I'll save that for when we're done with this question.
Okay, absolutely. Well, I mean, it sounds like overall, obviously all of these competitors have like at least good three, 4 competitors that are like really great, obviously. I would love for you in the closing statement to pick one person from your bracket to pitch as the champion.
For the idea of what tough is, or for the idea of
so in your quad, so looking at this, based on yours, I want you guys to tell me which person in your quad you think is going to be a champion.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so but also when the time comes, I just want you guys to argue who this person has had the hardest ride to get to the championship belt.
Had the toughest ride. Okay.
They had the toughest ride. They had the most difficult ride to get there. But pitch us who's going to be winning not only your individual bracket, but who's going to walk away as the best competitor, to win the tournament overall. Okay.
And can I just clarify something that commenting nerds bring up? Yes, this entire Schmoebates is not about who is factually right and factually wrong. We are always arguing from the respective, we're arguing who's arguing better. That's what this thing is. It's not about factual.
But if you argue that Bibion is the best IG competitor of all time, that's not subjective.
Right.
So that's a very different
We're using facts to bolster up arguments that we are thinking. It's about who's making the better argument. So I get that.
So a lot of when it comes to these arguments, it's incredibly subjective. But also, who can word it a little bit better? Who can word it a little bit better? Yeah. Who can win your favor for sure? All right. And so is there anything else that you would love for them to mention, Frankie?
No, not really. I think actually what I would like to see is why your premise is the better premise. You know, ultimately, because that's really what it came down to, and honestly, it's because of Megan, the way she kind of reframed it, and which I thought was a great move, because it's really thrown a wrench in my thought process. So I guess that can kind of tell you where I'm at then.
Yeah. I think we're all confused.
This is definitely an interesting.
I'm not saying I'm confused, but I'm just saying, I can think about it that way.
You've got your head on straight here, Frankie. You know exactly what words mean. We know what tough means. Okay. Do I start?
Okay. Well, yes, you do have 1 minute on the clock to let us know why you should go in that bracket. Okay. And also, like I mentioned, I just want to hear who in your thing is going to be the champion. All right. Okay. You have 1 minute starting now.
Guys, I'm going to speak to you from the heart here. This is not going to be about the facts. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, are we really debating like what tough means here? Like, we're saying a coin flip is tough, like the arbitrary nature is tough. That is the exact opposite of what tough means. Tough means the end of warrior. It means two extreme talents fighting it out. And the fact that, like, I don't know, that VideoDrew is going to end up the champion of the single tournaments is the toughest reality that you are going to have to swallow in 2020. So, like, there's been tuberculosis squirrels, there have been plague locusts, but get ready for VideoDrew running that singles tournament and breaking all your brackets, because that's going to be tough. I cede my time.
Ceding the remaining 15 seconds. Okay. In favor of VideoDrew, coming in hot. Okay. And over to Megs. Let's say a better premise, potentially, but also who is your champion from your bracket? You have 1 minute starting now.
So that's funny, Drew. You were saying that Riley was going to beat you in the singles tournament, but now you're saying that you're going to be the champion. Perfect. I like the flip-flop there. Flip-flopping aside, when I'm looking at that upper right quadrant of the bracket, I'm thinking, okay, they are going to have some tough times battling past their own demons. Paul Preston didn't get past Ben Bateman on the validity of a challenge. You're looking at Eric Zipper, who has constantly been up against luck. Tim Franco, Tom, branching out on their own in singles. You've got many other people within there that are going to have a tough time getting through this. However, the person that I see coming out of that side of the bracket to contend for champion is going to be Paul Preston.
Ooh, that's good.
I'll concede 5.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Paul Preston versus VideoDrew. That is the match I didn't know I wanted.
It's a match I know I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot to dive into. Okay, now
I can't tell if it's the LSD I took 2 hours before coming on this stream, or if it's just you guys. But things are seeming real wacky tonight. Like, I'm legit. I'm legit disoriented.
This has been an odd day. I think it's just it's this day. I don't get it. It's all good.
Funny. It's words. It's time.
I'm sure your doll has nothing to do with it. I'm sure that doll has nothing to do with any of it.
Call it a doll one more time and see where it ends up tonight. I swear to God.
Or okay, your friend. I don't.
It's a
stop while you're ahead, Frank. Just stop while you're ahead.
Yeah.
The soul hoarder.
Putting the doll aside, I do want to say this has been a fantastically argued thing. I mean, like Meg, that honey in the beginning did really throw me. I don't know. I'm being talked to that way that people in the video, the Instagram videos, are being talked to, and I don't like that at all. Turns out.
Well, we are human.
Talking about the fact that I also didn't understand the first or second question. I think that I really powered through this like a.
Elsie, you've powered through very well. You've been a very formidable opposition. So well done.
I'm gonna cry.
Well,
No, don't cry.
You guys are both amazing for sure, but it's not Frankie and I that are going to determine who's going to walk away winner today. It is actually you guys, the viewers. There's 37 of you guys watching right now, so go over there to that website, or you can go to Twitter, which gives you the link, and it will take you ASAP over there, and just let your votes be known, let your opinions be known. So you guys have 10 minutes on the clock.
Can I use my burner accounts, like the ones I had to create when my verified account got booted earlier this week? Ooh,
how many burner accounts do you have?
Like several. I created a lot of parody accounts back in the day. I have one called Westworld Sanitation that was just about Westworld stuff.
Well, the thing is that you are not voting on Twitter. What you're doing is that because on the Twitter it has, because we're trying to do something new. We're trying to find new ways to have people vote, and so on Twitter it has links to take you to where to vote. But you can always just click right there. It should be in the description box.
How many burner accounts am I going to need for this?
You don't need an account.
I'll say,
hell yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah, but go over there and just let us know who should walk away winner. You guys will have just under 9 minutes to go do that. And so get to it.
Oh, we get a vamp now. Okay, cool.
And so we're just hanging out now. We're just waiting away. To vamp it away real quickly. Frankie, where can we find you? Everything you're working on and all that you're doing. All your million things.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, FrankieJ29. If you want to follow me over there. Schmoedown Rundown every weekend on SEN YouTube channel. Also, we started over on Schmoedown. We started the Trivia Schmoedown Quick Clips channel, which
is
running.
So far, there's been very
And-
little VideoDrew stuff I've been noticing. So that's weird. Get that fixed.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in look at, you're not the only one that's saying stuff to me. I got people coming up the wazoo about where's this, where's that, and
Frank, I
it's
got nothing. You're good by me, so you're fine.
It's not me. I'm speaking for the people who want more VideoDrew content and have missed her a lot. I miss her.
You have your own channel. Is that not enough for these people?
I'm going to tell you something. I find it very difficult to get into the VideoDrew headspace in 2020. It's going to be weird trying to do this stuff virtually because, I do In the Darkens, whatever. It feels like 2020 is the year that VideoDrew is maybe caused. And I do want to apologize for that a lot because I feel like the chaotic, evil or neutral of VideoDrew got a little tipped over. In the Janine match, the little promo that me and Tom shot, I said that we're going to leave Earth after the experiment is over in 18 months. And I'm starting to think that I accidentally predicted the future. Whoops.
But also I want to say on that Clips channel, if you're not subscribed to it, please go subscribe to it because Christian has said that if we get to 10,000 subscribers on that channel, we will release the Rokadoc that Nerd Chronic worked on really hard. And it's really great. So it's only available for patrons. But we'd like to make it available for everybody. So this is kind of like a way to reward all of you subscribing to that channel, which would be great because it helps. By doing that, also helps spread the word of the Schmoedown and reach out more.
I'll subscribe to that channel. When I get
Don't worry, I do have something in the hopper that should be coming down the pike soon.
No big deal. No big deal.
The Toby Hooper, the Tom Hopper. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Not gonna lie though, that clip channel is so great. It reminded me of so many moments from earlier seasons that I totally forgot about. I feel like especially with all the really awesome matches we have going on right now, it's really cool to kind of do a little reflection and do a little compare and contrast.
That's what I've
be able to have something to show my mother. And
that's what I've found going through all these old matches and things like that is I remember a lot of it, but I don't quite remember it as well as I thought, or it just elicits other emotions like these promos from Nerdcon. I'm telling you, man, these are movie quality trailers for matches that's for trivia, and it's this is for trivia, and as I'm watching them now because he sent me all of them that I can upload.
Wait,
it just blows my mind how the cinematic feel you get with it, and it's been fun to go back and watch those again.
Nerd Chronic is also making the video clip. This, I live in his garage, right? I see him for all of 5 minutes a day because he's busy doing all this work. I thought that he was not doing the clip stuff. Oh my god!
Yeah,
He doesn't
literally
sleep.
my entire life is I go to my real job and then I come home and I just do Schmoedown stuff till I go to sleep. So it's been a grind.
Nerd, did you actively lie to me and tell me that you were not doing the Clips channel just so I get off your back about it?
That sounds like what you do. Well, okay, what about you, Meg? Okay, do you have like a favorite like Schmoedown moment or anything along those lines?
Oh gosh,
Or
so many good
favorites?
moments.
Or what's like one of the first big moments that it made Schmoedown click for you? That really made you be like, yeah,
got it.
For me, this I get it now. Absolutely,
got it.
Fine.
So it's not necessarily. So probably the big one was I started watching chronologically during season 6, so 2019, but I went back to 2018 matches to kind of try and get caught up, and I watched the Guy Dan Merle match. And so that was what happened then is I was like, okay, what is this about? Because I was to that point I'd only seen people being somewhat heightened versions of themselves as far as character work. But then what Guy was doing was just a whole another level. And then I found him and Ben on AMA, and that is what made it click of, okay, WWE meets UFC meets trivia. I got it. Because the character was so over the top that I'm like, there's no way this guy cannot be this way.
I know we're not debating anymore, but oh my God, like exact polar opposite. I find it so hard to watch that match. I find it so
that's I was uncomfortable watching it. I'm like, oh no. But knowing how much of that is character work makes it more palatable for me because I have a theatrical background. So knowing that you're going so against your character makes it good.
It is a brutal match to watch, and another brutal one for a completely different reason is the clip actually was just posted today. Rachel Cushing and Mark Hanapic. That whole match.
I have a really hard time.
That's what tough means. Can we just agree on a base level that is what
I will concede to that. Yes.
Yeah. Two very injured and sick players just going. That's the Warrior ending. That's just them just going in the ring and they're just going and going. Oh my God. Guys, you need to go vote in this because I need to be convinced that my internal reality matches the external reality. My internal reality is matching the external reality. I'm still here. Tough still means tough. Words still mean words. And like, obviously, Riley's going to beat VideoDrew, but also VideoDrew's going to win the tournament. Like, sure.
Yeah. Well, just want to let you guys know. And real quickly, you guys go vote. Jake put the links up there. Question 1, 2. You can also find us on Twitter with the hyperlinks as well, also in the description box. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys, for sure. We talked briefly about Frankie's, all his awesome stuff he's working on with the clips and all that good stuff. Drew, where can we find you and all the 1,000,001 things you're doing?
Hold on. I'm going to tweet myself out real quick so people have time to vote. So you can find me at VideoDrew at everything. Because that's like it. So / VideoDrew, and then it's just the answer. That's on Twitter, that's on Instagram, blah, blah. But mostly I'm trying to build up this YouTube channel. That Mondays and Thursdays we do the Video Chronic Pop Culture Quiz. That's 20 questions, deep delve into one specific movie. Tomorrow we're doing Nightmare Before Christmas. So if anyone wants in on that, 20 questions just about that movie. They're all contextual, kind of like Inner Geekdom style. It's not a market substitute for like the thing we know and love, but it's something really fun. On Tuesdays, you can find me there with Alex Mack doing Cinema Bias, a show where we like force each other to sort of go outside of our comfort zone of movies that we traditionally have avoided. So next week, we're actually doing Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Never seen it. And something about her that really scares her, and I love it. Like she's scared by Pee-wee, and I love that about her because I had to watch Warrior and Ugly Cry on my Twitch channel. So that's
Warrior, yes.
I ugly cried while doing one of these live streams. On Sundays,
it's hard not to.
It's hard not to. If you want to see like some kayfabe VideoDrew stuff on Sunday nights at 9 p.m., you can watch In the Dark with VideoDrew. That's where we have other Schmoedown competitors, like the real characters, none of the game, all the character world building. So we've had Tom on, we've had Lon Harris, we've had Adam Witt, we've had we had Gucci, we had Jen Sturger last week, and we have upcoming. Guess we have on Sunday Brad Gilmore. That's right.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We have Friday Night coming on.
All right.
That's the place where it's just VideoDrew wilding out. The show is actually literally in the dark. They can also find me on Twitch, where I do Friday nights video karaoke. It's actually become my favorite part of the week. I hated karaoke before, and now it's my like only release. Is like this karaoke thing. And then I do watch alongs on Wednesday. And otherwise, watch me in the tournament. Watch me fly, because I'm not gonna miss my shot. I'm just like my country. I'm young.
I just realized there's like we're getting a little Frankie-ception between my
Whoa,
camera.
yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the time you guys have to go vote. And now if you start voting, if hypothetically you decide to vote right now, too flippin' bad. All right. Okay, so I'm going to be waiting for the numbers to find out who is going to be walking away to winner today. I'm just waiting for them right now.
Watch me sing Be Prepared 100 times, because that's
True.
what karaoke mostly is.
Four unfortunate souls.
Four Unfortunate Souls and Be Prepared, with a third like minor of like I'll Make a Man Out of You, which I thought was the villain song because I've never seen Mulan, and I assumed that was the villain song because it's such a bop. And it's about going to war and how everyone's just like sucks. So it's weird that it's not. Anyway, yeah, go watch it.
Is there there's the villain in that movie never sings, so they're technically not a villain song, but
it's like Hercules doesn't have a thing singer. But also there's an open mic function where I have started just having Hamilton sing-alongs, where you can just start any song and just like play it on an instrument or do it a cappella or play it with your thing, and other people come and finish it. And yeah, go to twitch.tv/VideoDrew and check out some clips. I think you'll like what you see. Or maybe you won't. Either way, it's happening. Motto for 2020.
Okay, we have our winner, guys. We do have our winner. And I'm going to give you some stats as well, so get excited. Okay, so for the first question, which faction is most likely to have all the competitors win their first round matches? With 54% of the vote in favor of Swag with Megs.
Hey.
Oh, good. So I got to beat Riley because I didn't know how to feel about it.
I vote against my battle against her. For question number 2, which rookie will have the best debut in the singles tournament? We had a little bit of clarification issues, but I'm glad we kind of cleared that up just a wee bit more. But I feel like it's something that definitely needs to be argued again. Now, with 65% of the vote in favor of Andres Gallagher.
Yes.
Very good.
Yay.
Boy, that's my boy, Blue.
That was a very good. That was a good poll.
And for our third and final, which quad of the bracket is the toughest? Now, it's a very subjective question, but we are arguing it exclusively with these arguments today. In favor of 57% of the votes.
Even tough or tight.
It is the.
What is going on? What is happening? Just tell me the news.
She's keeping it in suspense.
It is VideoDrew.
Oh my God!
Right, the bracket with Kalinowski, Riley, Drew, Snyder, or Yama, Montano, McKee/Somerville. So meaning Drew is the winner tonight.
Important part. The fact is, we've just defined reality again. So we're back to tough is tough. Tough is tough. Okay, so we're agreeing about reality. Thank you. Great match. That you almost drove me insane, and that's very hard to do.
From you, I will take that as a compliment.
This is the biggest compliment I can give anybody. This has been the most I've ever sweated during a competition of any kind, because I literally felt like I was like coming from a behind where I don't understand the language. Like I feel like I usually love debating. I love arguing. I can argue about anything. I literally can do a no but instead of a yes and all night. This had me straight up scared. Like I didn't know. I was just asking for a verification of reality.
Well, Drew, okay, so Drew, walking away from this, you are technically, you're currently sitting at 1-1. So, obviously you don't have a perfect match. However, you did argue very well today. So tell me, in the future, you definitely have your pick of the litter as far as, potential competitors, everything from James White, Dwayne Burke, so many different options. Is there anyone that you would love to argue against in the future, considering your new and improved record? Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got one. Because otherwise, I don't think this person and I would ever we're like two like different like entities that refuse to like recognize each other. Like we're RoboCops, are not scanning each other as entities. So I'd like to go against Ben Bateman. Yeah, I'm gonna take on the champ.
You're gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. If you're gonna swing hard or whatever
okay.
they said.
That's definitely ambitious. But he is currently sitting at 5. He's currently sitting at 5-0.
I just want him to
tournament champion. So, but anything is possible. You never know. If you call him out on the socials, you never know. Things sometimes match.
Oh, I won't do that. He's terrifying. But if somehow we have a debate together, that would be really fun, I think. By fun, I mean tough. And by tough, I mean awful. And by awful, I mean easy. I don't know.
That word.
Tough, you mean chewy.
Yeah. It's like that movie Pontypool, where it's just like language is a virus. It's like a zombie movie, but it's words that are infected. And so like people start getting like mnemonic devices stuck in their heads, basically. So kill means kiss, and they start going crazy like zombie people. That's exactly what tonight has felt like.
I have no idea what that means, to be completely honest.
Oh my God.
But I don't know what that movie is referencing, but that's totally cool. Real quickly, Movie Finobi, a lot of love in the chat, but also Movie from Finobi is quick to give you the teeth as well. Go through 2 thing. I know that. So
I also Movie Finobi's part of the partner in crime duo that have created such a lovely sculpture. And I just heard today, right before the match, that there's a second little project, an art project that's coming my way as a companion piece, perhaps to VideoDrew.
Wow. No.
So we have that to look forward to. And guys, that unveiling is going to be
no. Hard pass. Flipping pass. I don't want to see Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Flip, no. Nappy sent us a nice donation through Streamlabs as well. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Drew's strategy here was flawless. Started by arguing a completely different question, making us question the entire nature of the game. Potential strategy? Then gaslighting us at the end, so we think we have gone crazy and succeed with her win. So
is that what gaslighting is? Am I gaslighting you guys? Because I felt straight up gaslit.
But also, Megs, you argued amazing today.
Yeah.
You guys actually have the same record now, technically sitting at 1-1. But Megs, who would you love to argue against in the future?
You know what? I just have fun doing this. So you want to throw me up against somebody? You want to have me back on as a commentator?
I will never ever want to come back on against you. You're so good. By the way, our polling was was tied. I kept checking.
It was not a one. Probably the second question was probably the only one that had the highest favor, which is yours, which is fair, totally fair.
Actually, I don't understand that as much, considering one of these people is more well known than the other. But I guess I did a great job arguing. You guys all love me.
You did a very good job bringing up. Yeah.
Are you a lawyer in real life? Can I ask that? Is that okay? Because
what was that? I'm sorry.
Are you a lawyer in real life, or are you in a position of authority of some sort? No,
the position of authority. I have a doctoral degree, so you could potentially say that. But I mean, I have a somewhat higher up position where I'm dealing with high concepts. So and just having to make my point and sway people in a certain direction and come to a good conclusion. So debating is fairly natural for me.
I'm going to say that I was really good friends for a while with Bo Willimon, the creator of that show, a little show on Netflix we like to forget ever happened, House of Cards. And I think you guys would really get along. You seem like a character on that show. You are very, very good.
You know what? She's really great at arguing, and this is what we do here at Schmoebates. Level 2 Trading says, after this Schmoebate, I'm going to question my sanity. I'm going to go see a psychiatrist tomorrow.
Remember I was just here to throw bombs? You guys did the opposite. You just twisted that around. I am devastated.
All right. I have
Yeah.
Where can we find you and everything you're working on?
So if you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram at Megs Reclaimed, Megan McCurley is where you can find me on Facebook. More commonly on the Facebook Movie Trivia Schmoedown page. I'm doing a lot of stuff with those lovely graphics for stats breakdown. I'm going to be very busy with the singles tournament, apparently.
Yeah.
But, y'all are welcome to come along. I try to keep things really positive on social media. So I'll throw in some movie quote questions. I'll throw in the stat stuff. I'll have some inspirational stuff in there.
Okay.
Just having fun.
Absolutely.
So and make sure that when you do my graphic, it's like from a really great angle because you're gonna be using it a lot.
Well, see, I don't use faces. I will just have a really
Just on my
cool put in for your name. I'll see what I can do for you, girl.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for tonight's episode of Schmoebates. Really dive into all the important questions when it comes to Schmoebates and Schmoedowns and all that good stuff. So arguing Schmoedowns, the most important and most ridiculous questions that we have going on. Next week is going to be a very Roka outlaw focused episode. All the questions are going to be focused on the outlaw's history and within Schmoedown and some of his best and worst moments, all that good stuff. So it's going to get a little weird. It's going to get interesting. He's going to be my co-host next Wednesday, starting at 9:30 Central, and I have yet to pick my 2 debaters. So if that's something you're interested in, send us a DM or just tweet at us. You can find me personally here at Real Alex Mack, or you can find us on Twitter at Call Action Podcast. You can also find a whole bunch of stuff in the description below. Like I said, I co-host the show with VideoDrew. We dive into our movie biases. Every single Thursday. Not excited to talk about Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but whatever.
8 p.m. PT on Tuesday. Show up to watch Alex. She's so unhappy about Pee-wee. She hates him as a she hates him the way that Eddie Murphy hated the idea of Who Framed Roger Rabbit because he didn't conceptually understand the idea of cartoons working with people.
That's a whole different conversation. That is a completely different conversation.
But we also had Who Framed Roger Rabbit on because she'd never seen that either. So it's a real fun show.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's gonna get weird. But also I co-host a show called Mornings with the Outlaw, on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So it's gonna be real fun. We're gonna dive into a lot of movie news and stuff of the day, of the week, whatever it might be. So yeah, definitely come check those out. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you next week on Schmoebates. Have a great one. Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye. First.